So this is your 4th campaign Agency of the Year accolade. Were you expecting it?
5th.
5th?
4th consecutive.
4th in a row.
4th
okay.
in a row,
yeah.
but we had one when we were just Adam and Eve.
We must not forget that.
5th in 9 years.
4th in a row.
Yes.
Not that you're counting. I mean, I've
Oh yeah.
He's got the tattoos on his back and chest.
4th in a row.
4th in a row, correct.
Which is amazing. Now, obviously, nobody's done that before.
Yeah.
Were you expecting it though?
No.
I think we felt that we had it was a taxing year, not least because there weren't that many really big pictures to go for, and I think the thing that we always looked at was probably the fact that just the breadth of creative work, and that so much of it was such a high caliber, but it was so diverse as well.
What was it like when you? How do you find out?
I think we definitely didn't think it was in the bag,
yeah.
and when, for example, at the campaign bigs last week, obviously we had a very good night,
yeah.
but there's always that sneaking suspicion that you're being given that rather than the next thing.
No, I don't think we were expecting it.
We just done our best all year and made the best work that we can, and fingers crossed and hope for the best all night Sunday night.
I think the last week, because it was imminent and obviously bigs were happening, and it's the first time I've really sort of stopped to think about it, and every single thing is analysed.
You become completely paranoid, and then certainly what I started to do was to tell everyone that I knew that we hadn't won it.
Yeah. 7:01, I think, on Monday morning was the highlight of the year.
Oh.
It was absolutely
It was good. I didn't realise it was that early.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Ben went out with the creatives for lunch. DG and I went large. We went over to Paddington Station.
We went to eat.
Yeah, we went upstairs to eat,
really
and we got
lovely.
the Christmas lunch in a box.
Eggs and blankets in a box. I mean, I really treated myself there.
How much is the success of 2017 been you guys, as opposed to the old guard? How much credit do you take?
I think we've always been a team. When we've been throughout the last 4 or 5 years. I think we've led more this year, but we've been standing on the shoulders of all the decisions that have been made in the past, and all the work that we've made in the past, and all the relationships we've built in the past. So we've been more at the forefront, but we've been standing on their shoulders a little bit.
I think also the fact that we've been in such close proximity to them for such a long time, sort of a bit like you learn your parents' habits, you end up sort of behaving in such a, God, did I just say something that DG would normally say?
I don't think we've ever been particularly interested in running a company, but we've always been interested in working on business. And when you're a startup, you don't really need to. You're all in one room. You just yell at each other, and you know what's going on because it's happening in front of you. So I think we are kind of practitioners, and there's enough here for us to be able to get the kicks that we need from advertising, but we don't have to run the company.
What are you actually proudest of this year?
I think it's the diversity of the work that we've done. So there isn't any one particular thing, but we've worked hard. We've worked really well as a team together, and we've produced work that I think we would all say we're so proud of across the board. I think it's everything that we've done rather than one specific thing.
I don't think that's just this year. I think.
I thought you were going to say I don't think it's that.
I
don't think it's that at all.
I think the diversity of the work is the thing that sort of across a couple of years actually. I think we've been building on it, and this year's just been sort of a cementing it.
Yeah, I think also the agency's somewhat bigger now, and it's in 2 places now, and there's a lot of people there now, and still this gang that was a gang years ago is still the same team. I think the fact that now that we're stretched in such different directions and are looking after something that's somewhat bigger, the fact that we're still as we were, I think is a big driver of that.
Tell me 3 things that you thought really nailed it and meant you were right out there.
Awards.
Yeah.
You know, we have 2 big domestic shows, Arrows and Campaign Bigs. We were Agency of the Year at both.
Yeah.
And Cannes, we beat all of our competitors combined at Cannes. So from my little patch, they're not the be-all and the end-all, but we know that they can. And we had a very good year for awards.
And then I think creative work across clients. So often you get 1 or 2 stellar campaigns and you go, well, they really flew, but there were new clients that we'd never done work for before, like FIFA and GWR. There were clients we've always done good work for, but the pressure's on, like Marmite. You've got John Lewis and Waitrose. To try and do it across a lot of different clients and lots of different categories, I'm particularly pleased with that this year.
Yeah. One more thing?
I think it's talent, and sadly probably not ours, but basically I think that just the sheer sort of upward pressure of talent in this building, and I think we've often sat back and looked at it and saw somehow we've managed to get an unfair share of talent in the market.
And it's been a big year for you guys. You've finished your earn-out, you've banked your money, you've handed over the day-to-day management of the agency. How much credit can you three take for the performance this year as opposed to the new management team?
Almost
most of it, I would say.
Yeah, pretty much all of it.
All of it,
Particularly me.
Yeah, I thought you carried most of it, didn't you?
Well, you know, they're our guys. They're not new guys. They've been with us for a long time. So I hope that we've helped them along the way. But you also do need to get out of people's way. I mean, Rick and I get on really well, but there's only a certain amount of time you can. You know, you guys only put one person in the photo, and you do get in each other's way. So, I mean, David and I are doing all sorts of things. A lot of Volkswagen and Lloyd's and things like that. There's plenty to do. But I think really, I mean, Jim and MT did it brilliantly for us when we were at Rainey Kelly, is that they were there for a bit and we found our feet, and then they got out of the way.
But the expectation is we would go up to get out of the way, and I think we've often actually gone down to get sort of further out of the way. We're much more, we just work on clients' business as much as we possibly can, especially as you say VW and Lloyd's and things, and meetings we've got like in a minute, and we're just letting them get on with the management of the agency, and we're delivering as much as we can for the big projects and the big
the most rewarding part of it is actually that thing that when you work with clients, you're constantly being set puzzles to solve, and that's really what's at the heart of the industry and why it's so good to work in, and that's what we're getting back to a lot more. I think the craft of management is much less exciting than actually the craft of solving problems creatively.
And I don't think we've ever been particularly interested in running a company, but we've always been interested in working on business. And when you're a startup, you don't really need to. You're all in one room. You just yell at each other, and you know what's going on because it's happening in front of you. So I think we are kind of practitioners, and there's enough here for us to be able to get the kicks that we need from advertising, but we don't have to run the company.
This year, have you got any sense of how the agency under your management might be different in any way from how it was before?
Custard?
Yeah. I hope it will be not too different from before. I think we've all got our own styles, so it's inevitably there's going to be some points of difference. But actually, I think the agency that Ben and James and David and John founded has been so hugely successful and so much fun to work in that if we change it too much, I think that wouldn't be a great thing. I think it's good that we kind of carry on the path that we're set on already. So yeah, a little bit of difference, but not too much.
You've made more money than most people could dream of. You've won even better campaigns Agency of the Year 4 times in a row.
And 5 times in 9 years.
And 5 times in 9 years.
It's lots of Theresa May.
Strong and stable.
How are you going to top any of that for next year, and do you care?
No, you don't. The thing is, I always find the year offers a shape. You just start it, and then things begin to happen. You think, we need to do a bit more of this and a bit. The grand plans, I don't think, are particularly useful.
I only actually care that people who come in here want to do something even better than we've done before, and that isn't winning awards, just making better work, having more fun, just pushing it every single time. If the outcome of that is winning awards and Agency of the Year, that's magnificent. But for next year, we have to be better. That's all I've ever thought. It's just next year we have to be better.
We're lucky to work in an industry where you kind of get to solve these puzzles together in these teams, sometimes large extended teams, but as long as it's a group of bright people who have fun doing that together, I think you're very lucky to be in an industry where it's like that.
So do you go into 2018 though, sort of full of ambition and let's give it a go for 5 in a row?
Absolutely, definitely. And also, but keep it simple. I've got 3 things. We've got 3 campaigns that we're in production on. So we'll come back in January. I've got Volkswagen and Lloyd's that we'll start doing. And if you get those right, you look at them and you go, they're good. That's a good start. I wonder what else we've got. And then suddenly you're building towards trying to make it 5.
Yeah.
6 in total.
Yeah.
Across 10 years.
So also I think if you still do it, I think we'd quite like to have a Tilted Agency of the Decade. So we've got to bear that in mind.
Well, I must tell you, it's campaign's 50th anniversary next year. So we're planning an Agency of the Demi-century.
Holy God.
Holy God.
There you go.
Crikey.
I'll tell my children about that.
You need to promote again.
Well, because we've still got James Best, Chris Powell and Martin Bowes up in the Eagle's Lair upstairs here. So basically, if we all combine, that's got to be Agency of the Day Centre.
So 2018, what are your plans, what are your ambitions? Are you going to be Agency of the Year for 5th year in a row?
Yeah.
I think we want to start the year thinking that we absolutely can be, and that's what we'll work to.
We've got 3 campaigns that we're in production on, so we'll come back in January. I've got Volkswagen and Lloyd's that we'll start doing, and if you get those right, you look at them and you go, they're good. That's a good start. I wonder what else we've got, and then suddenly you're building towards trying to make it 5.
Good luck for next year.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you very much for this year as well. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.